summary.
Here was my point about why I think the critical thinking is getting even more important. For two reasons. One is we are in a much more analytical world in this information economy. Way more analytical than it used to be. And it used to be if you could get in the good old boy network, it was about socializing and connecting and bonding. And I think things are getting to be a little bit too fast-paced and a little bit too dispersonal, or a little bit more impersonal, and it's more about, you know, the numbers and we got a lot of information and what can you do with it and that sort of thing. So I think that critical thinking skills are really important in that because we're living in a very analytical world. The second reason is if everybody's inundated with communications, I need the communications to be very crisp and tight. And I think it was George Bernard Shaw who once wrote a letter to a friend that was like 6 pages front and back. And he closed with the sentence, "I apologize this was such a long letter. I didn't have the time to make it shorter." That's what I would like to college professors to nail. If I had one wish, nail that. I don't need 10-page essays. I need people who can embody a 10-page essay in 6 paragraphs.
Okay.
Because I don't have time to read 10 pages. And I don't want to see if you can be verbose and complete.
Yeah.
I want to see if you can figure out, of those 6 concepts, which is the one that rises to the top in this arena, i.e., these are all fine foundational principles, but can you, given this particular circumstance, figure out which one of these are relevant, right? If I'm going to do a pricing strategy, do I understand of the 16 things that drive pricing strategies, what's most relevant if I'm targeting this sort of market? Sure. And would that criteria change if I'm selling it into India? It damn well does. There's completely different price sensitivity, and how they buy is much different there. But if people don't know that, they just kind of throw darts at the board and hope something sticks. And I think it's not about 10-page papers. I think it's about can you effectively take a 10-page paper and make it a page and a half?
Excellent.
And prune the less relevant material. And pruning is a good metaphor in my mind for how critical things are going to work, is because when you prune a vine, you cut perfectly good grapes off the vine. There's nothing wrong with it, right? You cut them off so the intensity and quality of the grapes that remains go up. And, you know, it's great that you've got an education and you can espouse 18 social media methodologies. But if you can't, and they're all really good. Yeah. But at the end of the day, there's trade-offs, there's focus, there's priorities, and you got to figure out, okay, these are the 2 that matter the most for the situation we're attacking, even though the other 16 are valid.
Yeah. Sounds like it's all about application.
Yeah.
You have the knowledge, you have a little bit of the experience, but can you apply it in the right setting, in the right situation?
Yeah, I find that the people we hire out of universities, they typically have the knowledge. Right? They've read the books, they've done the classwork, they weren't morons, they showed up with what they're. It is that critical thinking, the ability to apply the principles and concepts to this theater, which it goes back to thinking skills again, right? And being able to deeply understand it. I would, you know, that whole writing 1 page, the whole forcing people to get deep. How about instead of taking a semester and covering 9 topics, how about covering 2?